Hello, hello. I'm here with Nikki, who just finished my book out your business marketing boot camp a little bit ago. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Tasha. I coach service-based entrepreneurs. And Nikki, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
I'm Nikki. I am a teacher, tutor, learning coach. I have my own tutoring business now, working with kids who are enrolled in virtual school. So I jump on as the learning coach and make sure that the kids are on track with their assignments, help reteach any materials, help just like help the parents sort of like oversee the learning as well, and yeah, lend a helping hand for those enrolled in virtual learning.
Awesome. All right, so tell us a little bit about your business journey. Where were you at in your business when you decided to sign up for the book out your business marketing boot camp?
Well, oh man, what is that? About a year and a half ago, my life kind of did a 180. Um, and that's when I had, I guess, a little blessing in disguise of a lot of freedom. I decided to move to Mexico for 6 months and eventually got a tutoring job online. Realized that that was something that I enjoyed and I liked. So after finding a few of my own students, kind of just started to go into that direction. Everything kind of happened organically with like students coming in with word of mouth. And it was finally like last year, I'd say, that I really said, like, no, this is what I want to do. This is my business. I'm like ready to put the time and energy in it. Like, let's go. But yeah, I would say a year and a half ago, it all kind of started like bit by bit organically. And now I'm here saying it's my job.
That's so amazing. Tell us a little bit more about like that growth trajectory. Like where were you before? What were you doing before? And like tell us a little bit about that slow organic growth trajectory in the business. Have you been supplementing the business by working other jobs? Like how are you feeling about where the business is at?
Yeah, so I think one thing that needs to be said is I spend like 6 months in the US and then the other 6 months traveling around like Central or South America.
Mhm.
So obviously, living in Colombia, for example, you don't need as many of the US dollars as you do. But I think for me, it was kind of easy starting from zero. Okay, starting with zero and starting to just get my own clients. There was a friend who saw a Facebook post that said, like, I need somebody to help with Spanish tutoring. So I kind of jumped in and I was like, hey, I'll do it. I taught English online for a while, so I took those skills and started creating beginner Spanish classes for kids as well. So started to like with that one person that needed that, I started to create my own curriculum. And then with that started coming more people. And I realized like, oh, like what I've got is something really good here. So like I said, just kind of building it up from there. And then with the learning coach aspect of it, I had one of my clients who presented the offer of like, hey, we're looking for like a private teacher. Would you be interested? And I kind of jumped on that as well. Came up with like a plan for their specific family. And then again, just started finding like more clients in that sort of niche. So I've got like the two things going on. And it took about like a year of just accepting things when they came, but not really searching for them. And I feel like it was about like 6 months ago, just leaving Colombia, where I'm like, all right, like this is what I want to do. I'm feeling like really happy and comfortable and confident with like the curriculum that I have, that I'm like ready to take it to the next level. So before it was kind of like coming at me, and now I'm like, hey world, where are you at? Here I am. Take me.
That is amazing. It's really awesome to hear about your journey and like how passionate you are about the students that you help and how kind of like all of this sort of came to you organically. That's so amazing. Tell us a little bit about where you're at in your business today after that growth. What sort of tangible growth and changes have you seen over the course of building and growing the business and then through the course of the marketing boot camp?
Yeah, so I think for me, the mindset shift of like rather than saying like, oh, I'm a teacher, like I tutor, I've kind of switched that to like, yeah, I have my own tutoring business now. So I think being able to, recognize that as like, this is my job, this is what I do, this is what I offer, rather than like some side gig anymore, has just made me, I guess, take it a lot more seriously, and then put in different things like your cancellation policy and like different things like that to make it like a real functioning sort of business.
Absolutely.
The marketing bootcamp has definitely taught me a lot of different strategies with this. Coming into just looking at it as like growing my business was kind of like scary and daunting for me, because I'm like, I'm a teacher, this is what I do, I teach, I'm good with kids, I'm good with people, but like the business side of it, I think I pushed that away for so long because it is really intimidating and it's not something that I know. And I also know that like in order to be good at it, or like anything really, you have to put the time and energy into it to do so. But with the boot camp, I feel like I was able to gain a lot of different tools that I didn't even think existed. So with those, I feel like I now know that even taking little steps as like being present on Facebook in different groups like that, I've already seen, um, those clients come in and be like, oh, you're a learning coach. Like, what do you do? Just by saying like, hi, I'm a learning coach. So I think like being present, taking those little tricks has been really helpful. So thanks, Sasha.
Aw, 1,000%. I'm so
Yeah.
happy. And it's really great to hear you. I think so many entrepreneurs go through this of like you start with like, I'm really good at this thing. Like for you, you're like, I'm a tutor, I'm a learning coach. Like that's a thing that I'm good at. I'm here to do that thing. And so then you're over here and like, well, how am I going to actually market and get clients? Like, I don't know how to do that. Like that's a whole other thing, right? So it's really great to hear that shift you're making from receiving things, which is amazing. That means you're so good at what you do, to like actually being visible and putting yourself out there and attracting those right clients. You mentioned like being visible in Facebook groups and stuff. Is there anything else? You said you got some good like tools and strategies from the boot camp. Is there anything else that comes to mind of things that you were like, oh, this is something I didn't know about. This was really helpful. Like I definitely am going to try this.
Yeah. I think like I've been most interested in like using Facebook and Instagram to kind of like show what I'm offering. I'm putting together, I don't know, what did I tell you? I think I'm using Planly or something to like automate
Yes.
those posts,
Make
because
life easier.
the like content creation side of that, I'm over here like, "God, it takes so long. There's so much to do." And then I like shut my computer. I'm like, okay, well, I did one, walk away into the next day. But I also realized that, if I want to do it, I can get in a sort of groove
Yeah.
of like Wednesdays going to the coffee shop, like creating all that content, putting it out there, and that I don't have to be doing it right then and there, like every day. I can make it
Yeah.
easier on myself to like sort of automate things, do stuff like that. So yeah,
Absolutely.
that's another one rather than like just being present in some of the groups and
Yeah.
being
Those are
more.
some of my favorite parts of the boot camp, the content strategy training and then the marketing automation and planning one, because it does really like save you so much time and effort and energy, like mental space. If you can get into that good headspace and like plan ahead and like make sure you're hitting like all the bases of the things that you want that are going to attract that ideal client, and then have it be posted and scheduled and like not worry about it, is like so game changing.
Yeah.
All right. What does it feel like to have your business where it is today? What have you been able to do? I know you mentioned traveling in South America, or by that, like Nikki 10 years ago would just be so proud of you and so impressed by where you're at.
Well, uh, yeah, do really like the fact that I've created a life and like business for myself where I'm able to spend half the year traveling and then half the year closer to friends and family, which I know that's what we just talked about, but I like get the best of both worlds of being able to stay in Milwaukee, closer to friends and family during the summertime, which is amazing for half the year. And then once our windows start to frost over, then I'm like, okay, see you later. So I get to, then spend like the next 6 months doing I guess what I want to do, which is like travel and explore and have new experiences and meet new people. And normally during that time, I'm not distracted by like those events with friends and family or like other work obligations. So it gives me a lot of time to like focus on my business and then like grow and put that energy in there. Um, I never really thought it was possible, as a teacher to do anything other than like teach in a classroom. And I'm really proud of myself now, I can say that I've, been able to create this sort of lifestyle like as a teacher and give myself like an alternative path where I'm still teaching and I'm still working with kids and like doing what I love, but I'm not in the classroom
Yeah.
being overworked and underpaid.
1,000%. I love that for you. I think it's incredible the business and the life that you've built and are building for yourself, especially with exactly like you mentioned, being a teacher and how teachers tend to be, unfortunately, and so unfairly, so overworked and so underpaid. You've been able to still do what you love and create a lifestyle that makes you really happy and feel fulfilled. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about some of the non-tangible growth you've had in your business and maybe through the boot camp. I know you mentioned your mindset, and I know we talked a little bit before about like nervousness around posting on social media, even being on video, and you're here on this interview right now, and just putting your business out there. And you just made such huge strides in that area.
Yeah. I realized that like if I want to see the growth, I've got to put the work in too. And I need to, I don't know, not be nervous to like show my face. I recently went to like a coffee shop and there's like different flyers. And every time I go in there, I'm like, I need to make a flyer. Like, and I know the people here would like enjoy it. There's like other kid stuff. And then there's a part of me that's like holding back. I'm like, but then you got to be vulnerable and you've got to like put yourself out there. And I realized that like I can do it. I'm very capable of doing it. And that I haven't done it yet, Tasha, but I'm going to do it now. I'm going to print out that flyer and put it there. And then when I think of it like that's, there's X amount of kids or families that I'm helping by like presenting what I offer in a way.
A
Now I'm just
thousand
like
percent.
thinking while also talking, but yeah.
A
Honestly, the
thousand
whole like
percent.
mindset shift, I think that's been hard for me of like, I, used to say like I'm a teacher, not a businesswoman,
Yeah.
and now I'm really trying to embrace the fact that like I can be both and that I need to
Yeah.
be both if I want to be good at what I'm doing right now. Yeah.
Well, I am so proud of you. It's been amazing to see your growth in the boot camp. And I know you're going to go put up that flyer, and then you're already going to have that flyer, and you can go put it up in like schools and other places where parents gather.
Yeah.
I know we
Great.
talked. Yeah. All right. Just a couple more questions for you. Tell me a little bit more about what it was like for you doing the Book Out Your Business Marketing Boot Camp, and who do you think can benefit from it the most?
Ooh. Honestly, all of this information I think was really beneficial to me. And all of it was new to me. So anyone who doesn't know marketing, I guess, but also we had like Liza in our group who was into marketing. So it also like worked for her. I think now I'm getting distracted. Sorry, my cat's going crazy in the background. Um, what was your question, Tasha? I don't even know.
Tell us a little bit about what it was like doing the Book Out Your Business Marketing Boot Camp, and who do you think can benefit from it the most? And if you need to go take care of your cat, no worries.
No, he's just kind of like he doesn't normally do this. He's kind of being crazy, but um
He's like, Nikki's on
no,
video. This is weird.
yeah, this is crazy. Oh wow, I'm in video. Okay. Um yeah, so I told you that I would recommend it to anyone who doesn't know anything about marketing, which is like me. But I also wanted to point out that like another person who took it in our group has a marketing background, and even she, benefited from that as well. Um, I think even if you are like in the starting phases of your business, which I think for me, that's maybe where I am. well, even with like the mindset shift of saying like this is my business now and like taking it seriously and stuff. Um, but just yeah, I think I took this course at a good time because it has made me kind of like focus on, building my business, but also, presenting what I have to everyone else. I don't know.
Awesome. No, thank you so much for sharing that. That makes me so happy. Last question. What advice would you give your younger entrepreneur self?
Oh man. Don't be so like nervous or scared or give yourself more credit than you did in the past.
Yeah.
Embrace it, I think. I think that's still something that like I'm able to say now, like I said, is like I'm a teacher and a businesswoman. But just yeah, I think easier said than done in a lot of ways, but like that mindset shift of like I am capable. I feel like I'm always someone to support others and like focus on them. And I'm like, you're great, like as a teacher, like that is my job. I'm like, I
Yeah.
am your biggest cheerleader, okay? Like your number one fan. Um, but I realize that like I can do that for other people, but I also need to do that for myself. So then like push myself and be like, girl, you got this. You are a badass businesswoman. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 1,000%.
Yeah.
I think I see this so many times with my female clients and women of color. Like we are just, it's just so hard for us to like be our own biggest cheerleaders. And like we are scared of putting ourselves out there. And like, but it's like if we don't put ourselves out there, then no one can find us and no one can hire us. And I can tell by the way you talk about what you do and the kids that you work with, like how passionate you are. And I'm like, man, I wish I was a kid so Nikki could be my tutor. Like I know you're doing amazing work. So thank you so much for taking the time to share today.
Thanks,
It's
Tasha.
such a pleasure working with you in the boot camp. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks. I appreciate you.